Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Immigration. Today we'll be talking about some common reasons for refusal of your spousal open work permit. So before we begin, we will like to welcome our guest Sandeep Singh with us, who is the Marketing Director for Brampton Immigration Consultancy. Sandeep, can you please explain first what is a spousal open work permit? I know we have talked about this before, but just briefly explain and the first most common reason for refusal.
Perfect. So I will have to explain briefly. Right?
Yeah.
She knows I talk a lot. So spousal open work permits. Spousal open work permits, I would divide spousal open work permits majorly into two categories. One for the student and another one for someone who is on NOC O, A or B jobs. Spousal open work permit is a way to reunite temporary residents with their spouses, and those spouses can come to Canada and work full-time when their partners are either studying or are on PVWP.
And the first most common refusal is basically living outside Canada, if your spouse is living outside Canada.
So in spousal open work permit, what we need to prove is the relationship is genuine. And how to prove that your relationship is genuine? Firstly, your marriage photos, your like how long the relationship has been existing. Because recently, if you have seen, there were few stories that came out and which proved that the intention was just to enter Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Those were false marriages. The student came to Canada and the marriage was done just few weeks before marriages. So those are false marriages. And the intention of the officer is to seek that those people, the marriages which are not genuine, those people do not enter Canada on spousal open work permits. So that's the intention of this program. So the major refusals will be based on whether the marriage is genuine or not. So individual need to prove that. Then the second thing is that if someone is on a study permit, he needs to prove that he or she is a full-time student and is enrolled in. And the third, for someone who is on work permit, needs to prove that he or she is working under NOC O, A or B, have submitted at least 3 pay stubs, and just for our viewers' knowledge, this application is not submitted by someone who is in Canada.
Okay.
I mean, it's not submitted by someone who is on work permit or a student. It is submitted by the applicant is the person who wants to come on an open work permit.
Okay.
So that means there is no sponsorship or anything like that. The only thing is that you need to prove that the person who is in Canada needs to prove that he's a full-time student or is on a post-graduation work permit working under NOC OA or B.
Which was basically my next point, that a lot of times they are rejected on the basis of financial support. So if you could explain that.
So someone who is outside Canada needs to prove that he or she has a financial capacity to come and stay in Canada for a few months until and unless they get the job.
Right. And then the next point is the connection to the home country.
So why would someone return to Canada? The family ties. So family ties plays really important role. So if someone has, brothers, sisters, father or mother in their home country, that makes the file much, much stronger.
Right. And the final point is the validity of the marriage. How can they prove that?
So as I said before, marriage certificates, marriage videos, the phone call conversations, how old is the relationship, the proof of that, relationship, and whether it was love marriage, arranged marriage, how did this marriage happen, was the intention to enter Canada the basis of the marriage, or it was a genuine marriage.
And then finally, when their legal status to live in Canada has expired.
So I didn't get this question, sorry.
Okay, so their legal status to live in Canada has expired. So in that case, should they just reapply or?
Oh, so if one of the spouse has the legal status to stay in Canada, the other can extend the status, yeah.
Right. Finally, there is another reason, which is basically you might have to prove that you both live on the same address. For example, I think there have been a lot of cases when the application has been accepted, but then they continue to live in two separate addresses. So, a lot
So
of times,
genuinity, yeah. So when we say genuine, so utility bills, phone bills, all those things prove that you stay at the same address.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. That were all the common reasons for refusal of a spousal open work permit. We'll be back with another episode. Thank you so much for watching.